What's up guys, it's Sammy Geek back here with a quick video, and today's video is on the GTR 3 Pro and why this thing I think came out of nowhere, and I think Amazfit just nailed it and just knocked this one out of the park. And I'm going to do a quick comparison today between the Galaxy Watch 4 and we'll just kind of do an honorable mention of the Amazfit GTR 2E. I've tried all these watches, you guys, so I wanted to fill you in on why I think this GTR 3 Pro is going to be the watch to beat for 2022. So without further ado, thanks for watching, you guys, and I'm gonna do this a little bit different than most of my videos. What I'm gonna do is there's so much to talk about on this watch, so I'm going to show you some of the highlights and kind of open it up for conversation. What I'll have you guys do, if you're interested, is leave any questions, comments, or anything below. And in about a week from now, I'm actually leaving for a business trip here, but in about a week, I'm gonna make another video and I will address each and every single one of your questions that is regarding the GTR 3 Pro versus Samsung versus the GTR 2E. I will answer that on another video. So I'm gonna make this more interactive. You guys post your responses, your comments, and I'll do the follow-up video for you guys. So thanks again for watching. Let's jump right into it. Okay, so to kick this off, I'm going to wear both these watches here. I'm going to take each of these off just to talk a little bit more about the Amazfit, but I wanted you to see them next to each other. The GTR 3 Pro is just a hair under 46 millimeter, and the Samsung Watch 4 is a 44 millimeter. Here you can kind of see the design. I did a separate video on the Galaxy Watch 4, and this is really not a focus video on, you know, the comparison between the Watch 4 and the GTR 3, but it's more why I have fallen in love with the GTR 3 Pro from Amazfit and why I think it's a sleeper watch, and I really think it's underrated. I'll share some of the highlighted features for you guys as I mentioned, but you'll get a little bit of a view here. Now, I do have several different sport bands for this, but for the sake of this discussion, I did put on the factory band so you guys can see what that looked like. This is unstrapped at the moment, but so this is kind of the back of the band, and this is not a super high quality band, but it's really super comfortable, and it fits my wrist really well. Obviously, it's buttoned up against this right now for the comparison, but I wanted you guys to see these next to each other before I jump in and actually take them off, which I'll do here. So taking these guys off and just looking at them, generally speaking, it's a design preference if you look at it like that. I really do like them both. I've just been absolutely blown away with the GTR 3 Pro and the versatility of this watch. Having the leather band on here, it looks very professional, clean, and like a real watch just about. And if you sport it up, which I'll do in my next video, I'll put on some of these cool colored bands, and it really then changes the look and feel of it. Now, this is a 20 millimeter band here, and these do use 22. I would say for me, I've always been a fan of the 20 millimeter just because I use this watch 24 hours a day, and I thought it felt lighter. But I've grown to now like the 22 as well, and it's just a little bit of a difference, but I do kind of like the thickness that it adds as well. But I wanted you guys to see these next to each other again because this is the Amazfit GTR 3 Pro is 46 millimeter, or just a hair under that, and the Samsung Watch 4 is a 44 millimeter watch. So, and here I'll turn this display on now. I didn't turn these both all the way up, but I wanted you to see. The GTR 3 Pro has actually a slightly larger and higher definition screen than the GTR 3, which I was actually debating, do I want to get the GTR 3 or spend a few extra bucks and get the Pro? Because battery life to me was so important. It's really one of the major aspects I go for. But after I saw the GTR 3 Pro in person, I'm absolutely amazed by how bezel-less this display actually looks, and how bright it is, and how crisp and clean and such high resolution. All the images are just fantastic. I'm not knocking Samsung because I think that they did a really good job here. But I'm gonna put away the Samsung here, but I do wanna talk about a couple things before I do that. Number one, I can't really use the always on display if I want it to last at least a couple days, or I should say at least a day and a half. This is where the Samsung really struggles because they're really getting, it's the same as it always has been, I feel like, for the past several years. We're getting about a day and a half out of this thing, maybe 2 days. The battery life on this was just kind of killing me a little bit. And then you guys, if you saw my previous video, I put out a video talking about the heart rate monitor on this guy. And for whatever reason, it's cutting out through my workouts. It was, and that was a major issue because, again, one of the most important things to me is wearing this all day and using it for health and fitness and sleep. And the heart rate was cutting out. If you go back to my other video and check that out if you haven't checked it out. And I don't think Samsung has created a fix for it, and I don't think anyone has acknowledged it. And it's extremely irritating for somebody that works out, at least once a day, and I like to go back and look at my heart rate. Even if it's not exactly precise, it gives me a good ballpark, but if it's cutting out 4 times during the workout, well, that's not gonna help me out. So let's jump back to the Amazfit. So why do I absolutely love this thing? The way that I see these watches is these things are companions. Like, you're gonna wear this thing because you want a companion to your smartphone. You want to be able to scan down and maybe have your phone sitting on the counter and being able to look at the watch. Let me turn this guy back onto the always on display. So this is one of the cool things that you can do here. The watch screen will stay lit, which reduces battery life, but you have a choice between 5 minutes to 20 minutes, and let's just do the 10-minute mark here, and that will keep the display lit up. So I'm jumping around a lot, but this is hopefully gonna help you guys. So let's say you're going to a work event or a party or whatever, and you have a cool watch face. I'll give you an example. I mean, obviously we have Christmas coming up, so if you put a cool Christmas theme on this watch, and you want to have a little bit of fun with it, and you want to have the display on constantly or showing a picture, because you can upload your own picture and create your own watch face essentially, then you can have this thing like this lit up the entire time. Now, of course, it's only 20-minute segments. After the 20-minute segment, it'll go to the always on display that you guys saw it on. But to me, that's really cool. The graphics on this are just next level. And then again, this is just an idea to show you guys what the graphics look like here, forecast, alarms and so forth. And then here's the sleep. So again, I'm really jumping around on this, but if I go in here, I just want to show you guys all the quick things that you can do here. And so the GTR 3 Pro also, and actually the 3, come with a dial that you can spin, and you can use this if you just twist it. And it does have haptic feedback, so you feel it vibrate as you're switching through. But let's go to, let me show you guys the sleep real quick here. So I'm gonna click on sleep from last night. We went to bed really early last night. It was just a really long weekend. So I love that you can just see your sleep score and so forth here. And I know you can do this on the Samsung watch as well, but my point is that it kind of does everything. It has everything here for you. To me, it seems, I don't know what it is, but it just seems simpler to navigate than the Galaxy Watch 4. And it's extremely comfortable to wear, especially with like the factory band that it comes with here. The battery life is what we got to talk about. This is the game changer. So for me, I really I talked about wanting to use the always on display, or wanting to turn this on for 20-minute segments for if I'm just doing it for fun or whatever it might be. I don't have to worry about battery life. This watch, as we stand right now, it's at 93%, but this is kind of unfair because I topped it off. But this is gonna, with always on display on, this thing is gonna get you, I'm gonna say 3-4 days, 4 days, 5, more like 4 or 5 days. I wanna tell you guys something important. This has do not disturb. It has the ability also to set up the always on display, and then it has the ability to set up the turn to wake. So you have kind of 3 different things, and you can set you can set a schedule for all 3 of those things separately. But anyway, I set all my schedules totally separate from one another, and you cannot do that in a Samsung watch. It's either always on display or off, and then when I go to bed, I have to actually take the watch. Let me grab the watch for you guys real quick here. I actually have to grab the watch and turn on the bedtime mode here. So like I have to manually do that every single night before I went to bed. And I'm like, why don't they have the schedule built in like Amazfit has? That for me was a huge game changer to be able to set all that stuff, because what that equals is awesome battery life. Because now you're not burning the always on display when you don't want it. You're not turning on the watch by flicking your wrist when you don't want it. So here's the thing. If you guys have any questions, now obviously this is a brand new watch, but if you guys have any questions, I mentioned it before, post them below and I'll get back to you guys in about a week's time. Talk to you soon. Peace.